I have a couple of things, too, to get off my chest. I mentioned that fantasy football draft. Let me tell you how big a jerk I am. Two things I've done. And one of them is very hard to admit. I've hurt Chris Demm here. He doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know how. But the first thing I did last night, my son was doing this fantasy football draft with me. Now it's like 10:15, late. I know. This draft takes forever. I mean, just for one guy.
Is this the one that you care the most about or the least about?
One of the more. I have two I really care about. I'm in 5 now. But I have 2 I really care about.
Remember, 5 weeks ago you were out entirely.
I said I'm not doing it this year. But I got back in, and 2 of them I really care about. And this was the second one. And it was very late. And as I was doing the draft, I got an instant...
I drafted Johnny Unitas.
I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's incredibly late, and I get an instant message from a P1 listener. They come up on my phone now. If you're listening through the app, I get an instant message. And it said, it's just like a neat little thing. It was a nice thing. It's like, here's something you might like. And it was a condiment. It holds your condiments in the car, like little cups for Polynesian sauce or ketchup or something like that. Because, I always like to shame eat in the car.
Sure.
It's your thing.
I eat in front of Kinko's all the time.
You should do a podcast from your car while you shame eat.
Yeah. It should be called Shame Eating.
It could be called Shame
Oh, man,
Eating.
that's a great podcast.
There's your angle.
I know. Here's what I'm shaming.
That is a
where I
great
am.
podcast.
Right.
Here's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Except it would get old after a while. I'd usually go to the exact same spot. I mean, just
The content's about the same.
pretty much, yeah. But I do shame eat in the car a lot. But I got that message, I read it, and then I put the phone down and went right back to the draft. And my son said, "Oh, my God, I can't believe you did that." I said, "What?" He said, "You just left him on red." And I said, "I don't."
What?
Left him on red.
Red.
And I said, "What are you? What is that?" He goes, "You left him on red." I said,
All right,
"What?"
explain.
Yeah. Apparently, if I read it, he knows I've read it, but haven't replied. And so that is leaving someone on red. And my son said that's about as rude as you can get, to leave someone on red.
Well, be honest, like if you have a phone call or an email that you haven't read, it is read on your phone, on my phone.
Well, there you are. So I don't know if it's READ or RED, but anyway, I left him on red.
It's READ.
Okay. So so it says red.
Red.
But no reply.
No reply.
And my son says that's how, look at what a jerk you are.
Lots of songs, pop songs, rap songs include about being left on red. I texted my ex, but she left me on red.
There.
So she read your message but did not reply.
Or lots of songs about how you see the bubbles pop up and then nothing comes.
I hate that.
Oh.
God, I hate that.
That means,
disappearing bubbles.
They started typing something to you, but then they disappear and nothing ever comes.
Is that the biggest slap in the face? I won't even finish typing. I'll just delete what I just typed. That's a slap because you expect something to come through those bubbles.
Exactly.
And nothing comes
You're waiting, nothing.
And nothing. Exactly. Now, here's what I've done to Chris Demm. I have to get it off my chest. I wasn't going to say it. All right? Here's what's happened. There's a colleague we have here in the building who's got a milestone birthday tomorrow. Okay? She's on another radio show.
Okay.
We're friends.
Yep.
All right? We like her very much. And yesterday, like right as we're getting ready to leave, her colleague, her co-host, calls me into a private room and says, "We really want to do something special." And her name's Katie. He goes, "We really want to do something special for Katie's birthday." And I said, "Well, I'm glad to do something for you." He goes, "Not you. We want Chris Demm."
For Katie, anything.
Yeah.
What can I do?
What can I do?
Not you.
It's not you. We need some talent to come in here and do something. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm sure Chris Demm will do something for you." He said, "You know how witty and charming and funny and how those great impressions Chris Demm does?"
Yeah.
So I'm just seething, of course. He's like, "Yeah, we want him to do 2 or 3 impressions, and then we're going to, and record them, and then we're going to surprise her with them on the air, which will happen today." I mean, I hope she's not listening to this. I mean, it's going to happen. Okay. So I say, I'm sure Chris Demm will do this. And he goes, "Well, who are his best impressions?" He goes, "We want him to do Prince Harry," because she's a big Prince Harry fan. I said, "Well, he can knock that out." And then he said, "And we want him to do," there was another one that he wanted you specifically to do. Forget who it was. Miley Cyrus.
Okay.
I want you to do Miley Cyrus. And I said, "All right, I'll get him to do Miley Cyrus." And he said, "Who else?" And I was like, "Well, the Mad Dog." And they went, "No, that's not."
No.
She's not gonna.
That's not
That's not good.
No.
I said,
That's not going to fly.
that's not gonna fly. I said,
She won't know who it is.
"You know who it is?" I
No.
said, "Don Henley."
Yeah, no.
I don't celebrate any birthdays. Each day's the same. I'm just happy to be here.
No.
Taking breath.
They both went, no.
No.
They said, not only to me, they said, not only can you not do impressions, you can't even think of any good impressions that he can do. I said, Martina Navratilova.
The tennis Hall of Famer?
These are my favorites.
Did they just let you leave? Did they just tell you to
They
leave?
just stared at me.
I'll just message him.
You know what? I'll just get with them myself.
Yes. So I said, Martina Navratilova. I said, they were like, no. She doesn't know. She's not of the age.
How old is she?
So they said,
play tennis. I hear she likes country clubs.
that's right. But they said, no. What about, doesn't he do Hugh Grant? I said, he does do Hugh Grant. Now, I thought that might be similar to Prince Harry.
I would agree with you. I think an assessment is fair.
But I say he does do Hugh Grant. So I said, let me run back to the office and tell him to do that. And now here's where I screwed over Chris Demm. All right, here's how this has happened. The guy says, should I write something for him to say? And I said, no. He'll wing it.
He'll vamp.
I said, this guy's so good.
He's a pro.
I said, he'll wing it, right? So I go back to the office to tell Chris Demm to do this before he leaves, but I see Chris Demm's taillights headed out. Right. So I walk back and I said, man, he just left. Let me just text him and I'll tell him to do it real early in the morning before your show starts. He goes, all right, great. And he goes, do you want me to write him up like some paragraphs? I said, no, this guy's too good. He don't worry about it. I said, Chris Demm, he'll know what to say.
He's an ace.
So I text Chris.
So now got two conversations.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So now I text Chris Demm and I say, hey, these guys want you to do a couple of impressions. You
They're
know,
crazy.
I listed them. It's like, it's Katie's birthday, blah, blah, blah. I said, I figured you'd do it, you know that. Chris Demm writes back, Jesus Christ. Are they at least going to write something?
That's my first response. I'm not
Right.
I'm not vamping anything.
So I say,
I'm not just going to ad lib.
right. So I write back and I said, they'll probably write something.
So you lied.
Knowing that was a lie. That was a lie.
It's
Bastard.
I couldn't tell him what I'd done.
This has you written all over it. Promising something for someone else.
I know.
Oh, yeah, he's no problem with that.
I know.
Yeah.
I said, they'll probably write something up. Don't worry about it. You'll get it in the morning.
Yeah.
So Chris Demm, we get here this morning, okay? And Chris Demm goes, well, that Jack Holden didn't write anything.
He said you could just make it up.
Yeah, and I said to Chris, I was like, you're kidding.
Keeping the lie alive.
I said, well, you can probably just go and say happy birthday. I don't think it's that big a deal. But I felt so bad about it. I thought,
So literally,
Yeah.
right 2 minutes before the show started, I'm doing these impressions.
That's right. That's right.
I
wondered where you were.
That's right. He's
Not my best.
no, not his best work. He had to vamp it. And I was like,
And now they're down there going, I thought he was good at these.
Kelly, this is what they do on their show?
I know, it's so bad. I felt so bad about it. I feel like it's my fault.
It
Almost.
is.
It's almost my fault.
It is completely.
Don't you think? And I was like, oh man, I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You, them, her, all. If he had just been here another 2 minutes, I could have gone into the office. But I saw those taillights.
Yeah.
All right, I'll handle this. That'll be that. I can't do the impressions. He said, why don't you try your hand at one? And I was like, Prince Harry. I was like,
You should have gone, you know who's good at impressions? Dave.
Dave is great.
Dave.
Let
Get
him
him
do
to
Elvis.
do his
Let me
Elvis.
do Elvis.
Dave will
for you.
do Elvis.
And they said, can you do Prince Harry? I said, and they're like, no,